Good evening. You're now with me, Shal Chamato, for TVS Nightline. And here are the headlines for tonight. Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar has been sworn in as the 8th Young Dipertua Negeri of Sarawak today. Disbursement of the Cash Aid Sumbangan Tunai Rahmah STR Phase 1 to 8.2 million recipients begins today. The role of Village Development and Safety Committees JKKK needs to be strengthened and expanded in local community and development. We begin with this news. Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar has been sworn in as the 8th Young Dipertua Negeri of Sarawak today. Wan Junaidi's appointment as the Governor of Sarawak, effective from January 26, 2024 until January 26, 2028, was conferred by the Yang Dipertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah at the Istana Negara last Friday.
The oath-taking ceremony occurred at Dewan Lapau of the State Legislative Assembly, Dune Building. The proceedings began around 4 p.m. with the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, reading the instrument of appointment. Following this, Wan Junaidi signed the letter of appointment before Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, Tan Sri Abdul Rahman Sebli, with the Premier as a witness. Earlier, Wan Junaidi received a Guard of Honour from the 11th Battalion of the Sarawak General Operations Force, PGA, at the Dune compound. The ceremony was attended by Wan Junaidi's wife, Tuh Puan Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi, Premier's wife, Puan Seri Dato' Amar Jumaini Tuanku Bujang, Sarawak Federal Ministers, State Cabinet Ministers, and other dignitaries. Wan Junaidi succeeded Tun Pehin Seri Abdul Taib Mahmud, who served 3 terms from March 1, 2014.
Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar's appointment as Sarawak's 8th head of state is believed to be capable of further restoring Sarawak's rights as enshrined under the Malaysian Agreement 1963 or MA63. Deputy Minister in the Sarawak's Premier Department of Law Malaysian Agreement 1963 and State Federal Relations Datuk Sharifah Hasidah Said Aman Ghazali remarked that this is due to Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi's respectable standing at the federal level as well as being an experienced figure in legal matters.
Memang beliau memang seorang yang berkarisma dan memang popular dan dikenali dan ada hubungan yang begitu baik dengan institusi raja dan agung di peringkat federal dan juga kabinet dan kepimpinan kerajaan persekutuan, dan ini akan insya-Allah memudahkan lagi usaha-usaha kita untuk terus dapat berjuang mengembalikan hak-hak Sarawak di bawah MA63.
Commenting further, Hasidah said that the amendment of the Federal Constitution to restore Sarawak rights during his tenure as the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department was among his biggest contributions to the region. Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar was sworn in as Sarawak's 8th Young Dipertua Negeri earlier today for a tenure of 4 years from January 26, 2024 until January 26, 2028.
Similarly, the appointment of Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar as the Governor of Sarawak is seen as an appointment for all. Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Dato' Snordin Lawan said the role of the head of state represents all Sarawakians regardless of race and ethnicity.
Bagi masyarakat kita Dayak, saya rasa ini adalah satu penghormatan kepada kita juga, karena beliau mewakili kita seluruh Sarawak. Sebagai seorang tuan utama, dia adalah payung kita semua kaum, karena kita mempunyai 34 suku kaum.
Meanwhile, Deputy Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications Sarawak, Dato Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, said the appointment of Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi is one that is right, owing to his vast experience and knowledge. Adding that Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi is exceptionally committed to his work and helping the people.
Selaku ahli Dewan Negeri yang bekerja bersama dengan beliau adalah dalam satu kawasan. Di bawah Parlimen Santubong ada 3 kawasan, Tanjung Datuk, Pantaramai, kawasan saya, dan juga Demah Laut. Maka kita sentiasa bekerjasamalah selama 4 penggal Tun Dr. Wan menjadi ahli Parlimen kita. Kerjasama itu begitu mantap, terutamanya apabila kita selalu berbincang mengenai usaha-usaha kita untuk membangunkan kawasan kita.
Still on the same subject, Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi's appointment as Sarawak's 8th head of state was warmly welcomed by Sarawakians. Many of those met by TVS described Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi as a people person and an approachable leader.
According to Tanjong Datu community leader Pamanca Ibrahim Suni, Wan Junaidi is a dedicated leader who prioritizes the people and the development in the Santubong parliamentary constituency.
Tun Wan Junaidi Tuanku Japa adalah seorang yang berjiwa rakyat semenjak jadi ahli parlimen di kawasan P193 Santubong. Jadi kita mengenali beliau, artinya Tun tu artinya banyak mengambil hal ehwal hal masyarakat, khususnya orang-orang yang keperluan dah. Keduanya dia kerap kali melawat di kawasan-kawasan, melihat apa yang satu-satu yang dia buat daripada kawasan parlimen semenjak parlimen dulu di P1 Santubong, segi daripada pembangunan hasrat dan sebagainya lah, bermesra dengan rakyat. Itulah sikit sebanyak kita dapat mengetahui lah latar belakang Tun.
Echoing similar views, Tanjong Datu village head Maxwell Ujis said Wan Junaidi's leadership is fair and just, regardless of creed and race.
Awak kaya terus maju ke menua bangsa, semualah kenyak lah. Jadi kami amat menyokong lah awak ke kami komiti seminat kaum Iban, tang semua bagi kaum Dayak lah. Kaum Bukai megak orang kami terus maju di Pegaya.
Selama dia menjawat ahli parlimen di daerah Lunduk, setahu saya dia tidak pernah mengabaikan komuniti Cina di Lunduk lah, dari segi sosial, pendidikan, pembangunan dan sebagainya.
Saya amat berpersah hati di atas pelantikan beliau kerana beliau adalah seorang pemimpin yang berkaliber. Pengetahuannya amat luas dari segi apa-apa jua, dari segi politik ataupun dari segi pentadbiran. Sebab beliau ni dengan masyarakat kawasan P1 dan sebelum ini memang amat mencelah.
Disbursement of the Cash Aid Sumbangan Tunai Rama STR Phase 1 to 8.2 million recipients begins today. The payment will be credited into the bank accounts or channeled in cash through Bank Simpanan Nasional (BSN) in stages to those who are registered in the STR database to their respective STR eligibility category. According to the Ministry of Finance (MOF), the STR Phase 1 payment has been increased by the government to 500 ringgit for recipients in the household category with an income of 2,500 ringgit and below, compared to the maximum payment of 300 ringgit last year. Households with earnings of 2,501 ringgit to 5,000 ringgit are eligible to receive between 100 ringgit and 300 ringgit, while senior citizens with no spouse and single recipients will receive 150 ringgit and 100 ringgit respectively. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim on Monday expressed hope that the significant increase in the Sumbangan Tunai Rahma or STR payments this year will be able to alleviate the burden of the people. Anwar, who is also a finance minister, said the maximum STR payment for the household category has increased by over 66% to 500 ringgit from 300 ringgit last year.
In a Facebook post today, Anwar acknowledged that the hardship caused by the increase of the prices of goods are a major problem afflicting a large portion of the population. As such, he assured that the Madani government is committed to ensuring a dignified life for the people, adding that the key to national stability lies in the fairness and social justice as envisioned in the Madani economy framework. In this regard, he urged recipients of the Phase 1 of the STR can make the best use of this assistance. For the record, recipients from the household category with income less than 2,500 ringgit will receive 500 ringgit, while the household category with income between 2,501 ringgit and 5,000 ringgit will be eligible to receive between 100 ringgit and 300 ringgit. Senior citizens recipients with no spouse and single individuals will receive 150 ringgit and 100 ringgit respectively.
The role of Village Development and Safety Committees, JKKK, needs to be strengthened and expanded in local community development. Lambir Assemblyman Dr. Ripin Lamat stated that JKKK plays a crucial role as a link between the community and government agencies to convey their needs.
Kita perlukan peranan daripada JKK itu lebih meluas, terutama di dalam pembangunan, baiknya pembangunan infrastruktur ataupun yang lain, kebajikan masyarakat kita yang memerlukan, dan juga sebagai satu penghubung ya, di antara kita di pusat khidmat dan juga agensi-agensi kerajaan di dalam menyuarakan keperluan-keperluan masyarakat setempat, dan juga pihak kerajaan menyalurkan maklumat dan masyarakat JKK memanjangkan disseminate maklumat ini kepada penduduk di kawasan kampung dan rumah panjang.
He said this during the launching ceremony of the JKKK Empowerment Seminar and Dun Lambir Area Development Workshop on Sunday. At the same time, he mentioned that the involvement of youth in JKKK is highly encouraged, considering they can also contribute ideas and skills that can facilitate the task of village chief and house leaders, in addition to making the community involvement in JKKK more active. Ripin, who is also the Deputy Minister of Youth Development, Sports and Entrepreneurship of Sarawak, reminded the JKKK to report issues or problems in their respective areas to the proper channels, such as service centers and relevant agencies. JKKK, he emphasized, should also involve ministries in formulating programs based on the needs of the residents to enhance the industrial and socio-economic aspects of their respective areas.
Coming up right after the break, Malaysia to witness another monarch rotation, and former Finance Minister charged in court. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. Malaysia will once again witness a very significant moment in the history of constitutional monarchy in this country, with two important ceremonies taking place within the next 48 hours, highlighting the uniqueness of the rotation system of Malay monarchs, which has been practiced since 1957. Tomorrow, the 16th, Yang Di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al Mustafa Billah Shah will complete his 5-year reign as the head of the examination starting on January 31, 2019. The following day, the reins of government will mark a new era under the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, who will ascend to the federal throne as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong.
Al-Sultan Abdullah and Tunku Aziza are scheduled to return to their home state of Pahang, and they will depart from Istana Negara at 8 a.m. tomorrow to Parliament Square for the ceremonial send-off. The Royal Malaysia Police (PDRM) announced that 7 routes will be involved in full closure, while 13 routes around the capital will be closed in stages in conjunction with the sending-off ceremony. The royal couple is scheduled to depart for Kuantan from the Bunga Raya complex at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 10 a.m. In the meantime, Sultan Ibrahim, who has been elected as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong through the special 263rd meeting of the Conference of Rulers on October 27, 2023, is scheduled to take the oath of office and sign the instrument of office as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong during the special 264th meeting of the Conference of Rulers at Balai Rung Sri, Istana Negara. The ceremony will also witness the Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, take the oath of office as Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong for 5 years. Sultan Ibrahim and Permaisuri of Johor, Raja Zarif Sofia Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah, are scheduled to depart from Istana Bukit Serene, Johor, at 7 a.m. to the royal hangar of Senai International Airport, Johor Bahru, before departing to Istana Negara an hour later. The royal couple is expected to arrive at the Royal Malaysian Air Force Base, Subang, at about 10:30 a.m. before leaving for Istana Negara. Sultan Ibrahim, who was born on November 22, 1958, at Sultan Aminah Hospital, Johor Bahru, was proclaimed as the Sultan of Johor on January 23, 2010, after the passing of the late Sultan Iskandar, and crowned on March 23, 2015.
And now on to the next update. Police are looking for a British couple to assist in the investigation into the case of a traffic policeman allegedly issuing and offering to settle a summons on the spot. Perak Police Chief Dr. Sri Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri said that it was understood that the couple is currently in a neighbouring country.
Pihak berkiaman telah meminta saya untuk menyerahkan kepada mereka dahulu untuk mereka membuat siasatan dulu peringkat berkiaman. Kenapa kita nak menentukan di kawasan mana sebenarnya yang didakwa oleh pelancong ni tadi? Di kawasan Perak ke, di kawasan Pahang ke, Kelantan ke? Jadi kita tak nak menuding mana-mana, biar pihak pengurusan pengarah berkiaman untuk menentukan, dan jika mereka buat persiasatan dalaman tahu di mana tempat jatuh berlaku, kita akan siasatlah. Kalau di Perak, kita akan siasat di Perak.
The video, which has gone viral, showed the policeman offering the couple a chance to pay 100 ringgit to settle their summons on the spot.
A police sergeant was arrested yesterday to facilitate an investigation into an alleged rape case involving a 16-year-old student. Perak Police Chief Dr. Sri Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri said the policeman will be remanded until next Wednesday to assist with the investigation under Section 376 of the Penal Code.
Dan suspek telah direman sehingga 31 Januari 2024. Jadi kita akan menjalankan siasatan dengan telus dan dengan dengan terbaik untuk memastikan keadilan kepada pihak mangsa. Tidak kira melibatkan mana-mana suspek sekalipun. Warga kerja kita sekali.
Adding to that, he said the police have recorded statements from the victim and several witnesses to complete the investigation paper. The media previously reported that a Form 4 student claimed that the incident occurred at a parking area of a supermarket in the Perak Tengah district between July and October last year.
Former Finance Minister Tun Daim Zainuddin was charged in the Sessions Court today after he failed to declare 70 of his assets, including luxury cars and properties. The 86-year-old pleaded not guilty and described the investigation into his affairs as a political witch hunt due to his close affiliation with former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad during his tenure between 1984 and 2001. Daim's wife, Top Puan Naima Abdul Khalid, was also charged last week in a similar case.
I've been charged this morning with a criminal offence. But no crime was committed by me, and I will prove this in court. The real crime is the coordinated plot to tarnish my husband's reputation and exact political revenge and retribution against him and our family.
Daim arrived at court in a wheelchair with his family after being ordered by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC). If convicted, he will face up to 5 years in jail or a fine of 100,000 ringgit or both. In August 2022, MACC said it probed entities linked and names in the Pandora and Panama Papers, leaked documents that revealed tax evasions around the world, and according to various reports, Daim was listed. Though Anwar has been accused of using the investigation to go on the offense against his political rivals, he denied the accusations. On Sunday, Anwar said he never interfered in any grave cases and said that it is the responsibility of enforcement agencies to act decisively and boldly.
And now on to our world affairs. A few days have passed after a ruling made by the International Court of Justice, or ICJ, ordered Israel to prevent any acts in any shape or form of genocide upon the Palestinian people. But notably, it stopped short of calling for ceasefire. Hence, the ruling raised concerns about the ICJ, highlighting a potential inconsistency in its rulings and the disparities between decisions made for Ukraine and other cases.
Some segments of the global community celebrated the ruling, emphasizing that it underscores the principle that no state is above international law. In particular, a sense of gratitude was expressed by some Palestinians towards South Africa for its assistance in bringing attention and recognition to the challenges faced by the Palestinian people. The ruling is seen by these individuals as a step towards acknowledging and addressing the difficulties they endure. However, there are also voices calling on the World Court, noting that it did not definitely conclude that Israel is violating international law. Furthermore, the ICJ refrained from issuing an immediate order for Israel to end the ongoing conflict. This contrasts with prior cases, such as the case of Russia's aggression against Ukraine on March 16, 2022, where the court did enforce an end to hostilities, prompting inquiries into the consistency and approach of the International Court of Justice in various conflict scenarios. During the Ukraine and Russia conflict, the ICJ took a clear stance against the use of force in the region by immediately suspending Russia's military operations in Ukraine in its initial rulings. Similar to Israel, Russia did not accept the order and subsequently raised preliminary objections to the court's jurisdiction and the inadmissibility of the application. Soon after that, Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu welcomed the ICJ's decision of not ordering a ceasefire, but rejected the claim of genocide as outrageous and stated that Israel would continue to defend itself.
Several key donor countries have said they will halt funding to the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees following Israel's allegations that staff members took part in Hamas's October 7 attack. The UNRWA has fired several people and promised a thorough investigation into the claims, which were not specified, while Israel has vowed to stop the agency's work in Gaza after the war.
The head of UNRWA, Philip Lazzarini, vowed to hold accountable, including through criminal prosecution, any employee found to have been involved in acts of terror. UN Chief Antonio Guterres has promised an urgent independent review of UNRWA, but also pleaded for donor states to guarantee the continuity of the agency for the sake of the desperate populations it serves. The United States on Friday said it had suspended funding for the UN agency, a move followed by several other countries. The other countries that have suspended funding to UNRWA were Australia, Britain, Canada, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, Norway, and Switzerland. Many of the countries stated they were appalled at the allegations and would temporarily pause disbursement of funding while awaiting investigation into the allegations.
More than 2 months after Yemen's Houthi rebels captured the Galaxy Leader cargo ship and detained its crew, the Iran-backed rebels have turned the vessel into a domestic tourist attraction. For about $1 per trip, male-only groups of visitors can board wooden boats 5 times a week to the hijacked car carrier, which the Houthis hail as a trophy in their fight in solidarity with the Palestinians.
Shortly after the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza broke out on October 7, the Houthis have launched a spate of missile and drone attacks on passing commercial ships, which they say are linked to Israel. A U.S.-led naval coalition has responded by patrolling the Red Sea, and U.S. and British forces have struck military sites of the Houthis, now designated a global terrorist group by Washington, to keep open the vital shipping lane. This has done little to dampen the mood on the sightseeing trips to the sea's vessel, which is now decorated with Yemeni and Palestinian flags and banners displaying anti-American and anti-Israel slogans. Meanwhile, on board the ship, some visitors perform a traditional dance featuring the daggers that many Yemenis carry tucked into their belts, accompanied by chants glorifying the Houthis.
Long hair, youthful smile, thick glasses slightly askew. For decades, the black and white photo of one of Japan's most wanted fugitives has been a ubiquitous sight at police stations nationwide. But after nearly 50 years, Satoshi Kirishima, wanted over deadly bombings by leftist extremists in the 1970s, reportedly died on Monday, days after local media said he had finally been caught.
According to Japanese media, last week the 70-year-old revealed his identity after he admitted himself to hospital under a false name for cancer treatment. The reports were a sensation in Japan, where his young face is so widely recognized that it has inspired viral Halloween costumes. But police were still scrambling to conduct DNA tests when the man believed to be Kirishima passed away on Monday morning. On April 1975, the young radical allegedly helped set up a bomb that blasted away parts of a building in Tokyo's upscale Ginza district. Fortunately, no one was killed, but he has been on the run ever since. TV Asahi and other outlets said he had lived a double life for years, working at a building contractor in the city of Fujisawa in Kanagawa region under the alias Hiroshi Uchida. The reports added he was paid in cash and went under the radar with no health insurance or driving license. The man believed to be Kirishima began to receive treatment for stomach cancer under his own expense. It was at a hospital in the city of Kamakura that he finally confessed that he was 70-year-old Kirishima.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shameto. Thank you for watching and have a good night.